Well, you may have completely forgotten in the frenzy of the past week, but there is a Democratic presidential race still ongoing, and there was even a debate last night, a kind of Potemkin debate, but still, thanks to the coronavirus, there was no crowd to play to, but frontrunner Joe Biden still did plenty of pandering. Biden vowed to atone for having the wrong sex and skin color by hiring those traits rather than merit. He will let the way someone looks decide who he picks for vice president and the Supreme Court. Watch.
I committed that if I'm elected president and have an opportunity to appoint someone to the courts, I'll appoint the first black woman to the courts. My cabinet, my administration will look like the country. And I commit that I will, in fact, I'll pick a woman to be vice president.
Doesn't matter who the person is or what the person believes or has done in life. I'm going to pick someone who looks like this. But that's not patronizing or anything. Biden didn't stop there, though. He also promised that in his first 3 months as president, nobody will be deported from this country, not even violent criminals. Seriously, watch this.
In the first 100 days of my administration, no one will be deported at all. From that point on, the only deportations that will take place are commissions of felonies in the United States of America.
So to be clear, only felons get deported and everyone else has to stay?
Yes.
Well, with time running out for his presidential campaign, Bernie Sanders did nothing significant to tear down Biden because he doesn't actually want to win. He just wants to jump around and play revolutionary. He doesn't want to be president. Why doesn't he just say that? Biden almost sabotaged himself anyway, though, when he mistakenly used 2005-era Democratic lingo, which is now banned because it's racist. Watch.
Anyone who shows up to be tested for coronavirus or gets coronavirus and is treated would be held harmless. There are certain things you cannot deport an undocumented alien for, an undocumented person for, and that would be one of them.
Notice the question at the bottom of the screen. How can we make illegal aliens feel safe enough to get tested for coronavirus? Because that's kind of the #1 concern over on CNN. Well, a whole year of effort and tens of millions of dollars, and he nearly blew it right there by using the wrong phrase. Can he still make it? Author and columnist Mark Steyn watched last night's debate, and he joins us now. How do you assess this, Mark?
I think it's terrible. This is what it's like. It's different if you're one of the younger candidates, if you're like that skateboarding guy, Beto, or if you're like little Lord Fauntlepeat from South Bend. It's inbred in you. You don't even know what the word alien is. You don't know what it means. But like they've left themselves.
It's a movie.
They've left them. Yeah, they've left themselves with two codgers who find it very difficult to walk on these eggshells, and so they naturally default to old-time words that you only hear in the recreational lounge at the seniors' home, like alien. This is the same guy who was Biden was the same guy who was telling us that Trump was xenophobic for using the word foreign virus. You know, a virus can't be an alien. A person can't be an alien. Joe Biden completely lost it. He said this virus is attacking us from abroad. And by that very phrase, he's kind of implying that the virus is foreign in some way. So he is in danger, I think, of defaulting to sanity, which is always the problem when you've got people who are old enough to remember before the lingo had been corrupted.
When they remember reality before Brooklyn became cool. Yeah. No, you're totally right. So did Bernie Sanders make any headway whatsoever last night?
No, he didn't at all. He threatened to. What's ridiculous about this whole debate, and to go back to Beto and Mayor Pete, you know, when you see them, it's like watching ideological college students, and the naivety is rather sweet when you're 22, 32, 47, 58. When you've got two guys pushing 80 and nothing they're saying is actually relevant to the situation, the challenges facing the country, it's kind of pathetic. We waste so much time. Yeah. I said ages ago on this show, you know, we'll be talking about transgender bathrooms when the Mullers nuke us. The Democrats will be talking about whether they should have a Muslima transgender vice president when the zombie apocalypse is finally unleashed and breaks into the debate and devours them all. This was a complete waste of time, utterly irrelevant, stale worldview of clapped-out globalism.
That's exactly right. But the good news is they'll feel good about themselves as they do it. Mark Steyn, the great Mark Steyn, thank you for coming.
Thanks a lot, Tucker.